Ooh, all right. First game of the month, eh? Hold up. Alright, let's get back in this bitch. Oh yeah, let's do that shit. I'll do a couple looking for my Diana. Shit a little louder. Way too loud. I should stop. Actually doesn't do anything. You fucking bouncing, pedaling? I don't know. My foot. On the bookcase that this mic arm is attached to. Fanciful. Alright. Oh, fuck you, it's my Diana. Let me kill you without running away like a coward. Box slide. Shite. It'll hit. Yeah, okay. Try again. Nice. It's got more not swagger, so hopefully I can actually, yay. Ember. That's relatively painless. Quarter attack, 9 away, not bad, not bad, not bad. Get some Zalzand. Alright, now to the Pokemon Center. Oh, let me fuck with this. It's gonna look goofy for a bit. Okay, so... Huh. Shit is super duper low. Stop moving. Okay, you come down here. There we go. Yes? Yes. Yes. I am back. Yeah, there we go. Yes, I would like to list my Pokemon. Really interesting, my 3 stars are the ones that are under level now. I'll play with Pokemon. What you got? I think Pikachu is best Pikachu. Mudshot. Alright. Let us welcome up. They're psychic. Serve is a nice one because normally all hit moves will motherfucking cat scratching on my chair. A lot of times hit your partner, but serve hits the points. Spread like rock slide. Fuck yeah. Nice. A lot of water is a sim thing. Very unfortunate. Someone's gonna go fucking crazy. I forgot to fucking unmute myself. That's really great. Just said I had a good secondhand bookstore run. There was a lot of love here. There was a fuck ton of Fire Force and Bleach there. Not Fire Force, Fairy Tail. There was 65. What about Fire Force? 65 copies of Fairy Tail. Like 40 of Fire Bleach. Fucking full collections damn near. There's also a good chunk of Lupino. I forget things about it, so I was like, hey, I'll just get the first 3, you know, see what's up with it. And then I got 8 and 10 of Bakemonogatari. This dude should look down here and try and... fucking protect me here. A10 Bakemonogatari. I got the first light novel of it. Because, like I read a lot of books. But, oh, fuck it, why did I use takedown? But I don't read a lot of, like, ooh, get me the fuck out of here. Like, light novels, a lot of, like, it would be, like, light novel, and then manga, and then anime. I read a lot of books. I don't read a whole lot of, like, the light novels, even if it's a series I like. Like, I really like Apothecary Diaries, and I've thought about reading the manga, but I also know it's a light novel of it, or first. I'm just like, ew, like, I read all Demon Slayer. It's really good. And I have, like, a Demon Slayer, like, light novel book. It's like, oh, just some, you know, silly adventures, and it's like, super not about reading it. It's crazy, because I read like 19 books last year. I just thought it was funny. I'm just fucking weirdly opposed to it, so I'm gonna try reading those. I feel like I'm supposed to be pretty good. But people who like Bakemonogatari also feel a little pretentious. Just a little like, when I was reading, very just like high and mighty with the show they like because it's super artsy fartsy. So sure, whatever. I have to see. Huh, it's gonna make him look down. Also not super long, so it'll be, oh, my Bakemonogatari, so it's 3, 4, 5, and 6 is what this says right here. Did you just flop down onto my chair and hit your head? Yeah, 3, 4, 5, 6 of manga, so that's more of that. The Lavina Air Gear, which I've read Air Gear a bunch, but I always end up not finishing it, and I really want to finish it because the art is fucking amazing. It's got that like, you want to come say hi? The cat and Mike, what you gonna say? You're looking like a freak. Okay, you can go down now. It's kind of like early 2000s, like not scene, but then we got the like multiple belts. Let me see if I can't Google it. All I can find is Google just says like punk, but it's not super what I think of when I think of punk. but it's got that like like 2010s kind of like art. So I'm trying to see like almost vaguely kind of Kingdom Heartsy, like kind of grindcore, but like not white. Ah, freaking cat hair in my eye. Oh, my cat's being allergic to them. Fuck cat is in your eye all the time. It's just really good. It's really fucking beautiful. It starts out a little haha whoop. It's unfortunate, but like it gets so good. This is one of those manga I really like, because like I know with manga every image is an art piece by itself, but like there's a difference between something like Stop Bariku. Like it's funny, it's enjoyable, it's great, and then like some images from like Soul Eater, right? Or like from Kengan Ashura in some places. Also, if you watch the Kengan Ashura in anime and you're like, oh, that was pretty good, read the manga. I promise you, it's fantastic. Let's not go out to Vagabond's level, because Vagabond is just crazy. But like, I'm trying to think of any other ones. It's really good. Very enjoyable. Love Hina is not super hard to find the rest of. You can find it on Rick Books, which like this weekend, or I can't read them at work because the art on the covers is very titty. And you can use and you shut up, Jessica. I did not plant or pick those. I feel like it's like this sometimes, but I can't remember. So if I'm like, oh man, I'm really, oh, Lafina's really enjoyable, it's one of those things where I just know the name, so we'll have to see how it is. Hopefully it's not super lewd. Oh, God, they're eating plastic. Can't find our resident plastic eater. There she is. What you doing? But they call her the Pika cat, because Pika is where pregnant women just eat, like, rocks and shit. Not that the cat's pregnant, but you do be eating, like, a lot of stuff. Like, she's never had a problem. We've had her a couple years, but, like, she just likes munching on plastic. Double bundle it up. So I'll read those this weekend, and if I'm like, oh, these are good, I'll get more. There's a lot of like Monogatari, a lot of like secondhand stores, secondhand bookstores I visit. You know, like, oh, I'll pick up one here, I'll pick up one there, you know, just kind of slowly build it out. These Duskull's so fucking dead. Swampy's not super fast, is he? We'll do that. Or then if you another. Stop scratching the couch. A bookcase for my manga, at least like some shelving. Like a place to put a bunch of cards in the second slot. In the second row up. Hit. Yeah. Right already knows what's up. So, I'm gonna get some shelving. For some, like if I get those spikes, I think there's only. I have no idea how many. What the fuck, Dustox? Yeah, there's 16, so I'm down by 7. So I'm like a little over half. Thank God, I can fucking protect again. I'm like, still getting to struggle humans. They can't be regenerated. That's really pretty enjoyable. I don't know if I'll get over Jujutsu Kaisen because there's a. Is there a lot? No, there's only 22. Like, no, not 22. It's definitely more than 22. Maybe 30. No, 25. There is 30, huh? I got 1, 2. I got 10, including 0. I don't know if they include 0 in their calculations. Oh my gosh, this Dustox. Finally. Probably won't get all Chainsaw Man, because I like Chainsaw Man, but it's not like my most favoritist. Good job, Swampy. I got all Dorohedoro, which I'm like 2 volumes away from finishing, and I always just like, oh yeah, I'll make sure to read these, and I don't. I have all Hellsing, which I need to read. Or not, I've read all the manga I have, which is a lot. Each volume's $10. That's $1,000. It's probably over 100 volumes. That's actually no, because the solis are like $20 each. A lot of them. The Filipinos got all to the rest of it. I've been thinking about picking up a new romance. That's fun. I might try and reread through Komi, because I didn't get all the way through it. I got like a good chunk of the way through. And then I kept saying things on Instagram about it, and I wanted to punch somebody in the jaw. Behind me. Yeah. Right here. No? There it is. I really do really enjoy it, so maybe I'll do that. Tamamo-chan is shy. It was really cute. But Pakumi is the main dude's hairstyle, so unbelievably motherfucking stupid. It is. It's so distracting. It gets better just because it gets less intense. And since he's like a dude with kind of like Ramona, it's like Ramona Flowers hair, but on a short dude. And he's got like a real close shave. Not like a high and tight or not like a buzz, but like kind of like a general like, you know, short guy haircut. Except he's got like the Ramona Flowers like a girl that looks like this, like puts his fingers by his ears pointing down. I call the Ramona Flowers fangs. I've seen a couple people who have it. Just looks real stupid. This motherfucker's gonna have levitate. Or self-destruct. That's also great. What? I love the girl bag on this, it's so cute. Just a little fanny pack, little pockets. Oh, there are the cats again. What you doing, guys? Yeah, you're always gonna outspeak me, this guy, don't you? It's got like other manga I would recommend. What is happening here? Why are you just only using sand attack? What? Oh, you just don't want to get hit. One, two. I don't have any no miss moves, but I can just like swap out to Gardevoir with the double team. Or it'll know I'm coming in and sand attack. How's your speed still going up? This way, if I hit it once, it immediately dies. Oh, yay. Oh, it's supposed to fucking sit and use Fury Cutter like a bitch. There it is. Fucking dumbass. Those are even other moves. Sand attack, double team Fury Cutter. I think Swampy's evolving. No, 36, alright. What's up, archaeologist boy? Manga that's really good, I don't think it's enough attention, is Holy Land. You, as a high school kid who doesn't really fit in anywhere, to find a place he could belong. Be accepted, he will do anything, however one thing leads to another, and he is forced to fight to keep his place in this Holy Land. Basically, a shut-in, a neat, some kid who's just like getting the shit blown out of him in high school. Goes to kill himself, he's like, I cannot do this, so he just kind of wastes away in this room. Then he finds a boxing, like, booklet, or like instructional book, and he's like, sure, might as well, right? No. And he just, like, he has nothing to do, so he just practices it and just, you know, just really refines his tool, you know? And there's a lot of kind of both that this kid like puts in a lot of work because he's one of the only people we see out of the fighters consistently training. So a lot of them are just like guys who like are pretty good, maybe are in a club, and just like want to go get rough and tumble on the street. And this is like old school. Like this is when like, when did this come out? Let me check. Like early 2000s. It had a live action series? What the fuck? What? Since when? What the fuck? I'm so watching this. It's only 4 episodes. Dude, count my ass in. That's hilarious. Saying wasn't just like Very Depressed teaches us basically boxing, and it kind of is a like a toss-up during the entire thing. It's like this kid is really skilled. He's also like one of the only characters we see like consistently, actively training. I think it's really good info for anyone who like does martial arts. Just because like it's got a lot of just like actually good information, which is one thing I really like about a lot of manga, is that like they're written by people who have a real love of the thing. Let's go heal up. I like have a lot of information. Like Kanganasha is like super out there, you know, but like a lot of the fights and combos are like legitimate, like just raised to the absolute extreme. Like I love Baki, but I say it's always like, you know, taken to the illogical extreme where it's like, you know, oh my cats. The like, and I used to have a word for it, but I just started using the like official word that like trainers and whatever people use called crimping, which is just like the amount of strain you have in your body before striking or before doing an exercise. Like, it's one thing to be poised and have your muscles kind of like compressed and ready, but to essentially like be flexing them and straining is gonna get super in the way. Like anyone who tries to like do a really high vertical jump. Like you kind of hit like square and triangle, because I've been playing Fire Red on my Switch now that's come out. And you can also open the bag and register stuff. It's freaking hot in my hair. Fucking cocksuckers back in reviews, just like eat my nuts. Coming to chat as not a, like as a real person, and we'll see what's up. My goodness, bots. Where's the thing? Oh yeah, that like that's like a real thing. Where it's like having muscles that aren't constantly just like in tension and are like a little soft, because it's your body works as a spring, but it's a lot better to use an example as like it's an explosion, right? An explosion is a very fast reaction inside of a container that causes the container to, you know, build up pressure, and then the entire thing goes pop. At least for, like, you know, regular gunpowder explosives. I know it's a lot of items. Yeah, let's register this. Register my 1,000 rods. I think it's a little bit better to explain like that with the body. Because like a spring is like you compress, and then like the uncompress allows it to, you know, it wants to return to its original like shapes. If you stretch it, it comes back, and if you compress it, it does the same thing. I think it's a really good analogy because it's really simple and everyone can understand it. But when it comes to like having really explosive power, you have to have that like very little amount of tension in your body. More. Because if you can exert, if your explosion is 100, and you have tension in your body, which is how you know, go from soft to flex it. Let me restart how I say this. It's very different. It's kind of hard to explain. The tension in your body will not only keep the difference in tension very small, like if your arm is just kind of limply hanging out in front of you, you know, and you're squeezing and you try and pull back super hard, you have to kind of unsqueeze and then do it, or else if you stay squeezed the entire time, it's not great. But if you have it kind of limply hanging out in front of you, almost like it's on strings, and you just think, I'm just gonna flex the only muscles that matter, the difference in tension going from like extremely little amounts to also really high amounts creates really good pop. It's that crimping, so there's not already tension in there getting in the way. It's like that explosion thing I was talking about, where like if you're trying to build up pressure really suddenly, and you want to build up 100 pressure, and you're already at 50, you're only really gonna pop with 50, with the top 50. Well, let's go 40 and 60, so it's a little bit better. So you have like a container, and it can hold 100 psi. But if you fill it up too fast, it won't have time to adjust and little pop. If you're at a 40 and you fill it to 60, it'll pop, but the explosion won't be as dramatic because sure, it got to that exploding point, but since there's already tension and or air pressure in this case in it, it's as if it were filled more gradually. So you have to have very little tension in your body in order to have high explosive power. Because you have to have that difference in between like limpness and flexing. Like a really good example is like if you try like squat down and like flex your legs and then without unflexing, try and like squat up or jump real quick, and you'll find you're just kind of slowing through. You gotta like be low. You're gonna be compressed and your muscles are gonna be a little bit taut because muscles are elastic. You know, and they're gonna be compressed because you know you're squatted down and you're taking up less space. But if you have a little bit, if you have tension and you try and squat up, it's gonna be real just like slow and sluggish. Versus if you have no tension, and you try to do it, you'll pop right up and you can actually like jump. The reason I've been talking about all this, because in Baki, like that's a very simple thing that a lot of people in like all martial arts and all sports kind of understand. But Baki takes it to the extreme of like, oh, he relaxed his tension so much that like everyone thought he was like melting. It's just like, that's cool, that's funny. But it's like that kind of like logical extreme where like this is a very simple concept taken to such an extreme that it is no longer logical. Like the illogical, extreme. Illogical conclusion, as it were. Like image training, right? Like when you're a really good shadow boxer and you're like not just like warming up shadow boxing, like legitimately like doing like good shadow boxing work, people can kind of understand what like the guy you're shadow boxing is doing. Like I've seen it happen in person straight up. It happened long, long ago. The world was wrecked by a ferocious clash between the Pokemon of the land and Pokemon of the sea. Pokemon of the land raised mountains and created continents. The Pokemon of the sea raised huge waves and carved out oceans. Their fierce duel raged without end. The world was engulfed in massive infernos and vicious storms. The blue orb and the red orb brought an end to the calamity. The light poured from the two orbs and becalmed the enraged adversaries. The pair made docile, dove deep into the sea, where eventually they disappeared. Thank you for your story, old man. Now image training or like shadow boxing, it's like, you're not actually fighting anybody, you're imagining fighting like, if there's a jab, block, counter, whatever. And you do it well enough, you do it like with like enough attention, people can kind of figure out like what kind of guy you're fighting. And then Baki does that. That's at the point where like he's getting hit. It's just like, oh, okay. Or to the point where like, oh, he imagines it so hard that like it's physically affecting him. Or like other people can see like, oh, he's eating a meal. It's just like, what? Like it's super good. I loved it. It's really good. But wanting something a little bit more like grounded. Okay, and because it's still like absurd, like more realistic, and like the people who write it are basically like, yeah, this dude this much less for this year's, this much for this year's, and I've done blah blah blah, and you can see that in the writing. That like they're mainly people who've done striking martial arts, and the grappling sections, while really good, aren't like the most. There's a couple places where it's like, oh, that move isn't great here, but like, oh shit, it's got lightning rod. I always kind of say whatever when I have. just because, and they might have really good grappling thrusts, like not from what I know, because unless they do judo or wrestling, particularly wrestling, in Japan, a lot of the like things like, you know, karate, boxing, judo, or like some like weapon martial arts, from my understanding. And like judo, a lot of judo places just like cool, you know, takedown, done, break. It's gonna evolve. Let me check when he has level up moves. Watched up next learns Muddy Water at the next level. This is Muddy Water at 39. The surf that reduces accuracy. Oh. Yeah, I want to have Muddy Water. Oh, wait, one more. Don't matter to me. Yeah, I'm terrified. Like a lot of judo is just like, you know, down, break, up. It's like a lot of like the ground grappling experience from would be like from wrestling, which I think it's popular, but I don't think it's as popular as it is like over here in the US, where like, you know, every white kid from the Midwest can, hey, my soft sand, wrestle. You know, but again, what the fuck? A lot of times we're like, you know, scenic breakdowns, where it's like, I would have done this. It's just like, yeah. Obviously, I not only do I agree, but I'm going to defer to the people who do it because they're the main guy is a professional, or was at one point. Do I get my item back? I must get my fucking item back. I do. But also, like, I usually give a lot of leeway for when people are like, oh, well, you know, in this fight scene, I would have done this, and you know that. It's like, yeah, that's all well and good. But how many times in a fight are people like, why didn't he shoot a takedown? He's got much better takedown defense. I mean, takedowns, and the other dude's got takedown defense. You know, why didn't they do that? And they do blah 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 blah. You know, like, I usually give a leeway the same way, like, be like a real fight, where people in a real fight a lot of times, again, you know, they might have an armbar staring up in the face, but they don't realize it, and it might cause them to lose because they didn't realize that, oh, I had an armbar there. No. No, I'm not a prisoner. If I get really uppity about it, I can just use a couple of heart scales for Tate and Liza, because some person apparently does fucking work against him. So I give some leeway in that. But a lot of the stuff that, like, not teaches, but like talks about are like things that wouldn't be out of place in like a regular martial arts gym, you know, where it's like, you know, hey, dude, trying to take you down, you can either be the direct force or like, oh, he's a little bit like, hey man, that's not cool. I'm trying to remember how long Destiny bonds last. Well, will you stop that? I'll keep using bio till you get stop. It's like, oh, he's shooting a double on you. His head's to the outside. You know, you can hard sprawl against it, but like maybe just like put your hand on his head or like up under kind of in his armpit and just kind of lead him by you and just let him go. Because he's not just gonna keep running. He'll probably stop and then you have a good chance to just strike him. How many fucking Destiny bonds do you have, Wobbuffet? Whatever, I'll just kill it and revive. So fucking stupid. So I tend to like King and Oxford a little bit more nowadays. I think King and Omega has got two spots where it's not my most favorite. And that's the first tournament against Purgatory. And then kind of like some of the side tournaments we have going on. I know they're like looking for... There's Muddy Water. Like reasons to get fights going, and it's like, you know, Purgatory and Kangen all of a sudden are allowed to have these mixed matches because now they're cooperation. Spoilers, I guess. Yay, evolve! But I think with like the tournament's really good. I think it just kind of gets a little too all over the place. With like trying to set stuff up. Swap it! Swap it! Let's see your wow, you're an attacker. Holy shit, that's bad. You gotta have a lot more special attack, my friend. That's fucking terrible. Cool, so I'm gonna give this motherfucker some zinc? No, zinc is special defense. Carbos is speed, protein. I can't remember. I'm gonna give it some, because fuck, you gotta have better special attack than that, buddy. Let's just go mighty. He's got bite. I think those two areas, because the second tournament just feels like new characters we're never gonna see again, having fights that we don't really give a shit about. Like, whatever, man. And then I think during and before the first tournament, or the Kangen versus Purgatory like tournament, having not just straight A rankers, because it's like the King, 11 A rankers, one like kind of unranked guy. An unranked guy just kind of is a fucking interesting whatever, who gives a damn. But if they had like, you know, one of the unranked guys you know, 8 or 9 A ranked. A couple of B ranked for like these guys are up and coming stars. They just haven't been here long enough. And give like one of those guys a tough fight. Maybe he wins. Maybe he gets close. It would make a lot of the like later times in manga where they're like, oh, he's a B rank, and it doesn't make them feel like, oh, they must suck then. You know, gives them like creates like, you know, again they say like, you know, top of C, middle of B, top of B, middle of A, you know. And I think having some B rankers in them, like they're the top of B rank, they just, you know, haven't had a fight chance yet, and they got potential, so I'm gonna let them do this here. I think that would have been really pretty good. Because then later, again, when I talking about, we're like, they're like, oh, he's in B rank, instead of, it doesn't feel like, oh, he must suck. It's, oh, he's a good up and comer. He just hasn't made it yet. But it ends up feeling more like B rank is just like, oh, he just sucks, whatever. Like C is just like shitters. B's math. And then A is like, we're like, you got the good ones. Past that, it's enjoyable. I like it. It's enough of like fantasy that it can like really pretty easily like give me like, oh man, this is so cool. It's hype, you know, like Dragon Ball's just straight up all hype. But it's still enough reality where I'm like, you know, easier suspension of disbelief. They're also a lot kinder to like actual martial artists in Kengan than Baki, just because like Baki will have characters who are like loosely based off, like they have Iron Michael, you know, goes to prison and blah blah blah. Yeah, like, well, that's just like Mike Tyson, or like Muhammad Ali's pretty highly rated in that. Oh, your teacher's in here? Were you learning from a Pokemon, or is this a human? I think there's dead humans in here too. So, but like, Kangen. Like the, ooh, I forgot it's strong. Give me something good. Well, we'll do good. Mega Drain's right here. Forward's terrible, my goodness. Just okay. One of the guys who's consistently like, this dude is really talented, and he's just like barely outside of the like tops, where it's like, these are them motherfuckers. He's just straight up like that universe's version of like heavyweight champion, you know, heavyweight UFC champion. Meanwhile, you have essentially the same type of character. It's like, you know, heavyweight UFC champion. Literally in the first newest Baki episode, the dude just gets his shit wrecked. You know, Baki's just so fucking out there that it almost can't get credence to like actual like professional martial artists, just because it's so fucking far outside the realm of possibility. It was like Yujiro gets struck by like lightning like for like 10 times in a second. He's like, oh, whatever, walks away, or like walks through plexiglass. It's just so absurd. It's like they almost don't have a choice. Like Kangen's like a little bit less than that. You know, more like grounded, as I was saying. But if you want real grounded, I think if you want real grounded and you have a real like love of kung fu, like traditional martial arts, you gotta go kanji. It's, I don't see a lot of people talk about it. Basically, it's this kid learning a lot of martial arts, a lot of kung fu styles. Less so now, but even still now, where they're like, oh, if you're part of the school, you can teach whatever you want online, but like these like 4 or 5 routines you can't teach online, you know, like that's, you know, it's a taboo to do it. It's just like, dude, it'd be one thing if your guys were like world champions, right? And they're like, these are our secret techniques. But it's just a bunch of like old heads who refuse to kind of let the ways die. It's like, we no longer have to worry about like, you know, the rival school coming over and trying to beat the shit out of us and like take our stuff. And like, oh, do they know like my Brazilian kick, like my question mark kick? Like, do they know I can do that? Shut up, all. Because if they do, that's gonna be real trouble. Because all of a sudden, like this, like, you know, kind of an unheard of technique they know, and blah, 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 you know. But it's super not like that anymore. So I don't really like. I just don't really fucking get it, dude. But Kenji takes place like fuck, not even 90s, like I almost want to say 80s. Like it's old. Like, let me see here. Yeah, it's here. That's from 1988 to 1992. So, assuming it takes place around there. Yeah. Assuming it takes place around there. Like that's real. That's like, you know, Bruce Lee height of his like popularity. I think Bruce Lee's still alive. I don't know, he died in 1973. Damn, he died a little than I thought. But it's still like pretty early where like they're just kind of getting, China's just kind of getting opened up to the rest of the world. No, that was in the 50s. That was the Boxer Rebellion. Regardless, it's ooh. It wasn't it was like in the 1900s. Alright, that was old. That was old. I swear it was later than that. Whatever. That's still like in the time frame of it. So, like Kung Fu still being like uber secretive, like still like more than it is today. And it's still like pretty secretive today some places. There's an Bajikwan, which is like one of the ones that's like less secretive now that I know of, to my knowledge, you know, that I know about. But is back then was like, you know, like almost like Hyuga from Naruto, where it's like, you know, oh, we got like the main family line of techniques, and then we got like the regular family techniques. Where it's like, oh, if you're like one of like the main family, you learn like everything. Versus if you're not, you only learn half of it. But like the movements are still the same. You just teach you like, oh, this can also be used here, which is still happening today, which is fucking stupid. I'm more worried about, oh, you know, this has to be secretive, it's so dangerous, we're so fucking high on our own fumes. Shut up, Ricky. No, it's just the whole high on fumes. So, like, pops into him where he's like, he knows a little bit, and he's like pretty like just straight up athletic kid. Gets in a couple fights, beats up a couple guys who are a little bit older than him. And his grandfather comes and trains him a little bit for the summer, and then he gets a lot better. And then like his grandfather goes on a trip again. And then like his grandpa comes back a little bit. Then he trains him a bit, then he leaves again. Then he's just like, hey, when I get to this time, I'm you know, I'd like to go look for him. I was like, no, his parents like, no, you can't do that, you can't do that. And he gets involved with all kinds of stuff because he's just like one of those kids where just like doesn't stand for shit, will just like won't walk away from a fight where it's like, I stand for this and I will fight you about it. And eventually finds like someone in the same family Bajikwan that his grandfather was. How many fucking rare candies do I have? It says something on it, I remember. What? Bullshit. Huh. Weird. Just one. And he goes over to, how am I feeling the game? Oh, it's not Thailand, it's Taiwan. Once a Bajikwan, and his grandpa's like, oh, I'm in China. And he's coming from Japan. He goes, so first of all, thank you for Giga Drain. Yeah. Giga Drain. Oh, give me a sec. Gotta clear my throat. And he just goes all around. There it is. Mainland China. Getting into fights, training Kung Fu, goes to Shaolin Temple, goes to all stuff. It's really, really good. It's super I would say super in-depth, but it's like pretty in-depth for like a comic or like a manga. About like the techniques and all these different kinds and this and that. I would really like traditional martial arts. You probably like a little bit of Kung Fu. Probably would. Ooh. Highly recommend it. It's really good. You cannot find physical copies almost at all, so I just read it online. I like my manga reader app. You know, again, the other really good, damn, okay. Like, realistic one is Holy Land. That one's really, really good, like I said. I'm repeating myself now, who cares? I say that one's the most realistic because Okanji is squarely founded in reality. It's a little like his journey almost seems like something out of a like kind of a folktale story. It was like, oh, he went all around doing this and that. Meanwhile, Holy Line is like this kid gets fine at fighting. People find out he is, and then they keep trying to beat the shit out of him and get him to stop going to the place he's going. And he's like, no, I deserve to be here as much as you guys do. It's the only place I feel like I belong. I will nice fucking like defend my right to be here. So he does. And like at the end of it, it's like, you know, oh yeah, one of them just straight up like transfers. It's like, all right, you should like be the defender of this place. Where it's like, I kind of kept people in line with my, you know, ability. Where it's like, you know, if someone is really acting online, I was like, hey, we're fighting now, and I'm gonna beat the shit out of you. So that's really good. That's a great one. One that doesn't get enough attention is Breaker New Waves, and then what's the new Breaker called? It's on Webtoon now. It's really good. It's very, very good. Webtoon was so long, I just couldn't fucking keep up. Eternal Force, which is really sad because what? Why is there only one episode? What the fuck? Oh, it was like someone like pirating it? What the fuck? What a POS. Like Breaker New Waves, Breaker Eternal Force. That one's so fucking unrealistic because like it's got motherfuckers doing backflips off buildings. Shit, it's so good though. It's like the right level of like, this is martial artsy enough that like I can get my like martial arts kick on it, but it's so fucking wild that it's just straight fun to read. A lot of times when like you're reading comics or manga, it's martial arts, you're like, this is great and all, but it's a little too real because martial arts in reality are fucking gritty. Like that's why I loved the fights during COVID, because people like, you couldn't hear the sound of like people hitting each other over the crowd. Like if you were close, you could. I'm talking about like ringside kind of close. But then all of a sudden, during COVID, there was no one around to, you know, cheer to the point where you couldn't hear. It was dead quiet besides the commentators, the fighters, and then the corners. There was only people there, only people making noise. So you could hear the fighters like hitting each other. It's like beautifully brutal. Like to hear like open stance, throw across, guy's hands come up to defend, rear leg follow behind, and just fucking crash into a dude's liver, and you can hear it, and you're just like, oh, it sounds like someone went up to, and that's because this is essentially exactly what it is. It sounds like somebody went up to like a rack of ribs, put it like on the ground, and just fucking took a baseball bat to it and tried to beat the crap out of it. Like, that is a horrible, like, bone crunching, meat tearing sound. It's truly unpleasant and kind of gross. Then you see somebody do it with their leg to another human with like a tremendous amount of skill, and all of a sudden it can become beautiful. And I like martial arts, and I think it's very cool, and with a nice highfalutin like, you know, no contact. Like, all right, we're just gonna like do forearms, just practice like self-discipline, and you know, Tai Chi Chuan, Tai Chi Quan, they're the same thing. You know, like, they're super pretty. Yeah, they got some pretty good uses. But, and I really do enjoy that, but to, like, the nitty-gritty of like, once you kind of get into the weeds about it, where you're like, oh, this move that, like, you know, I do all the time, it's like, oh, I'm not just like, oh, I'm swinging my arms, you know, getting my hips and dantian and all this into it. It's like, oh, this move is to kick people in the nuts. Oh. Like, oh, this move that, like, you kind of, like, Mantis, like, the, like, beginning of, like, Bumbo Kyun, Bumbo Kun, whatever, crushing step. Where it's like, you know, step side, parry, punch, you, like, double Mantis hands. It's, like, very, like, elegant and, wah. And then I was like, alright, I'm trying to, like, redirect here, and I'm trying to either stab him in the eye, or I'm trying to, like, touch his forehead to get him to, like, flinch so I can do something else. And when you realize that, like, the martial part is just as important as the art part, you start to really love the, like, really brutal, that thing is gonna kill me if I stay out here, parts of martial arts. Which the COVID fights, again, super accentuated. Because you could hear, it's like people hitting a heavy bag, and you have that, like, real hard cracks. I'm like, that's really cool. But you're essentially taking, like, you're essentially just, like, snapping a belt. Like, people snap the leather belt. You hold one end, hold both ends together, and you put your thumb, like your forefinger, like you pinch it or whatever, push it together, and you pull them apart, and it goes snap, snap, snap. We've all done, right? But that's essentially what you're doing when you hit a heavy bag, like real hard, real fast. It's like you're taking this piece of leather and hitting with this piece of leather fast, and just like, bam, bam, crash, 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 snap, snap, snap. Then you realize that, like, oh, humans aren't dried leather, we're squishy and mushy, you know? And while there is leather in the gloves, it's very thin, and, like, they barely do anything. Like, they're just there for, like, a little bit of support, but almost all of the padding you're getting is from, like, the wraps you're putting on in the, like, in the locker room beforehand and underneath. And it's really not enough, or else you won't be able to fit in the gloves, and your hands will be illegal, and all this kind of stuff, and you'll be able to grapple properly. Dang, Lumi. That was not a good choice, my friend. If I head out of this, you're really screwed. Come on. Can we paralyzed after that? No. Ooh. Let's just go Cammy. So you're having, like, besides straight bare knuckle, which is another thing entirely that's like, if we have, whatever, I'm not gonna get into it right now, maybe later. You have like the second closest thing to just a bare fist, just crashing hard enough to like, if this dude hit a cinder block right, he could just fucking smash through it. You know, just like tons and tons of power and torque, and just be able to just fucking shoot those hands out, just deadly. And it's just damn near bare fist, just crashing into someone's face. What did I get hit with? Like, when you really hear that, like, I think it's a lot of people who, like, just kind of wanted violence, for like, you know, grab his dick and twist it, stab him in the eyes, you know, blah, blah. Just like people who, like, they'd come to a knife fight, you know. All of a sudden watching the, like, UFC fights during COVID, and being very suddenly, like, shown the reality of, like, oh, this isn't like two people fighting on a screen that I'm used to, or like a video game. Hearing the like crunch and smash and all of that, a lot of people I feel like were like, oh, are you gonna hit guard of you? I think you're gonna hit guard of you, unfortunately. Yeah, unfortunate. Completely space that out. We're just like, oh, this is not what I thought it was at all. Because now all of a sudden, it's not like, oh, I can see two people fighting down there. It's now it's, I hear them using each other's bodies to destroy. It's like, your eyes are really good, but since you're always, like, you're using your eyes all the time, to the point where I kind of feel like a lot of people don't really appreciate when they see things. Probably especially because of, like, internet and social media now, where they can just look it up and see it. But to have the other senses super engaged in something, like your hearing, for instance, where it's not like, oh, I just see two people fighting, where it's like, oh, I hear that now. Like, the only other thing I could do is smell it. Because you're not gonna lick the fighter, and you can't, you know, touch them, because then you're the one getting hit. So, like, you know, you're 2 out of 3 of just like, oh, this is real. This ain't just like, you know, haha, two guys fighting on the screen. Oh, you know. I think they kind of drove down their metrics, probably. I think it was a good thing, because I think a lot of people were just like, oh, they're just fighting, they're blah blah blah. And then they're like, turn on, and goes, yeah, apparently there's no one in the stadium. And then they just hear like a preliminary round, and just hear like bones crunching under like kicks and punches, and they're just like, what? Which I think is great. I really like those fights, because it's a reminder that you know, as pretty as this shit gets, and as like can't believe it. All these beautiful KOs you see on Instagram and TikTok and Twitter all the time. To hear the noise of like, this is what it sounds when another person gets absolutely cracked upside the head with a damn near bare fist. It can be jarring. It's like if you've ever sparred before and you're all having fun and maybe you're throwing hard, then all of a sudden like one strike just kind of cracks all hard and you hear it and you're like, ooh, I wasn't even a part of that, and that's ooh. Really off topic. I think people who have a hard time like with like crowds and like what people say and all that, they're kind of like myself. Just watch Yu Yu Hakusho, and this is gonna be a fucking hot take, but in Yu Yu Hakusho, in the Dark Tournament, the crowds are just, they're little demons, and all they want to see is just like someone die and get hurt and get bloodied. And that's how a lot of fans act. And once you realize that, like, you know, oh, that's just like how they act, you know, like seeing like a cat lick itself for the first time and you're like, whoa, what's happening here? And then like you see a cat lick itself for like the 100th time, you're like, yeah, that's just what cats do, you know? Crowds are just shitters. They're all full of shitters. You're never not gonna find a crowd that's not full of shitters, you know? It's the like individual humans are smart, groups are fucking stupid. Also, drink water. And that's what the easy time and time again, the Dark Tournament is just like Apex War. You just see, oh, I would use cut, that's why. Overwhelmed. A mighty kibble child, let me contribute to your allowance. That's cute. Also makes you feel like she didn't pay at all. And he's just like, here, I got it. Shut up, Robert. That was really good, and it was a really interesting thought. Just like not think of the crowd. This is maybe a little shitty. Well, you know, don't think of the crowd of people. Think of them almost like literally like a horde of jeering demons. That, like, the only thing they want to see is somebody get insanely injured. They don't care about skill half the time. They don't care about technique. All they want to see is one person harm another person. Which sucks. You know, but it's true. And unfortunately, you just gotta deal with it sometimes. And like, I think if like, you know, you're like, oh man, it just gets to me, even if you're at a small venue, like watch Yu Yu Hakusho. Get the Dark Tournament and just like have somebody like, hey, this isn't just like the Dark Tournament demon crowd. This is all crowds. And realize that, like, or not even say that, but if you watch like them be like, oh yeah, we like these fighters. and then watching as soon as those fighters start to lose, instead of being like, oh no, they're losing, like you'd expect a rational human being to do, they start going, yeah, they're losing, fucking kill them, rip them, you know, it's just like, whoa, that was a switch up. I have not heard a good saying, and I don't remember what it should be. Yeah, I figured. And, you know, just understanding that, like, the crowds do not have your back. They are not loyal. They are a bunch of jeering dickweasels that at the first sign of being able to convince someone to inflict more violence for them to watch, they will immediately do it. You know? It's just how it goes. I don't think all sports are like this, but I think a lot of them are. You know, I think the hockey culture is so strong that it's not super like that. Just because, like, I don't know any other sport where people are fucking showing up to the games hiding squids in, like, their pants so they can throw them on the ice in case someone gets a hat trick or some shit. Like, hockey's fucking weird. Right. What a flipper! I gotta hit 2 in a row, but that's usually not that hard. It's like, what, a 25% chance? I should be fine here. What the frick? Defense fell. I forgot poison's physical in these days. It feels like it should be special. But it's not. It's the evolutions. Plus dragon, electric, fire, water, psychic, dark, ice, and grass, and dragon type are the special ones. I don't care about these berries. I barely use fucking berries in the first place. Oh, dingers, I want a double battle. I mistimed it, then I didn't reset it. I just went, oh, let's keep going. You got an absol. The fuck you mean obviously strong, dog? You got a level 27 absol. You ain't too fucking shabby yourself. I mean, nothing compared to me. I'm gonna fucking... You're so dead. I don't think there's damn anything you can do that will... Okay, quick attack. Cool. Die. My confidence. But you don't revive any of these just to get them some levels. Oh, do I have a super potion? I'll hit Lumi up so you can get some more experience. I do not. How many orange bars do I have? 8. I'll use 3. Get him to a fine health pool. 20's fine. He's a tough one. Oh, bug Pokemon. This might not go well. It's like dust oxen shit. It's definitely not gonna go well. Oh, Pinsir? Shit. Oh fuck, I didn't even switch out. Whatever. 2 orange berries. Dead. I'm excited for that moon. The blood moon. I gotta come back down here to get one of the items I can't get to in the first run. It's that or trainer, and I always go trainer. Let's restore first. I wasn't gonna put him in this order, but I only have to switch like 3 around, so it's fine. I can blow my nose. I'll be back. I'll be back. Whoa. I think once I finish this game, it's still Bleakest Keep to play. I don't really want to play that every night, so maybe download Ready or Not. Do some gun running. Not very good at it. Not super great FPSs in the first place. But we'll see. Also depends on how expensive it is, because if it's like actually costs money, I might not do that. But hold up. Well, I might play Hollow Knight. I got Hollow Knight on here. Or maybe I'll play some more Monster Hunter. I haven't played Monster Hunter in a while. I played the crap out of some Monster Hunter. We're breaking hundreds. Golly, Swampert, special attack is terrible. We're tied with Altaria. Altaria is bad, bro. Altaria's special attack is like super not something to write home about. it's an 85. That's not fabulous. It's an 85 versus a 70. It's not fabulous, but I'll give it some, not protein, not carbos, not zinc, not calcium. Let me think, what is it called? PP up. HP up is called something. How am I able to remember all of them but those two? Ooh. Yeah, calcium is defense. Oh, calcium is special attack. There we go. It answered it for me. I didn't really want it to because I wanted to think about it and use my brain, but whatevs. Let's go buy some calciums. Let's go. Maybe a magma icon, right? I forgot what I'm supposed to do first. Or if it matters. I think HP is just called HP up. That's Barbos, speed, sync, defense, calcium, special defense, protein attack, and iron is defense. On HP up, it's called HP up. Protein, calcium, iron, zinc, carbos. The fuck is carbos? It's not a real thing. Oh, carbs. Like carbos, carbs. But that doesn't make... Well, I guess protein isn't a vitamin. The way, like, zinc and iron is. Like, calcium is. I guess it kind of makes sense, but still not really. What we at? 72. That is acceptable. Not great, but acceptable. Also, the fact you get fucking outdone by the fucking camera. I mean, he had the macho base on for a while, but that's not. But still, dog. Disappointing. What you got for me, Lotto Lady? Come on. Great. Well. I can check. A couple of things here. Figure where we're going next. This, yeah, can't go in here yet. So let's go switch bikes. And then I can go fly there, do that, blah 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 blah. Go see the Bay Flannery. I love Flannery. Yes! Those me bikes. Thank you. I gotta beat those fuckers one of these days. Come on, give me something cool on the ground. I've seen a couple hikers, seen a couple zigzagoons and stuff. I think small details like that are so cool. It's just like, they didn't know how to do it. They did, that's really nice. Start teaching some moves. Final. Getting everything finished off. I kinda wanna check that actually. Go back to my wild city. Huh, did I start late or something? Why did I go inside here? Strange. Closet. Goodbye for now. They're doing pretty good. I just want to look at fucking a trap bench. I wouldn't even have leveled up by now. Well, I would have was my team, but like, dang. Neither would have Aaron. What? I'm just surprised I have this much money. I'm still not entirely sure. I might just like go flag on stuff. Let's compare these two 10 levels apart. I want to see just how different they are. HP is better. Attack is pretty close. I think their speed, attack, and HP are the main big differences. I gotta go to Hot Spring again. I've been doing one in a while. Give me a sec. Oh. I really don't like that Duolingo they changed. How the strike timing works. Like, it used to be like, oh man, you started the lesson at like 10:59 and you just was really hard for you, so it took until 12:01. You know, it used to be like, alright, well, you know, we'll credit you the previous day. Now it's just like, man, fuck off. Alright, Magma Hideout next time. I'll read you a quick verse of the day. I'll get real close to the mic. Let's go. Do I want English Standard or NIV? I don't want ESV.
Joshua 1:9 ESV. Have I not commanded you? Be strong, courageous. Do not be frightened. Do not be dismayed, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you go.
Alright, first stream of the month. I'm gonna try and stream a lot more this month than I did last month, just because last month was a little crazy. As always, thank you for liking, subscribing, following, doing all those fucking doodly bop things. If you're on Twitch, all my VODs are on YouTube. All of them, not many. It's 30 right now. I don't really half of them have like good audio, but they're on there. Follow my Twitter if you want to know when I go live. I'm not a big social media guy, but I do on there occasionally. I mainly do just stream here, post on VODs on YouTube, and then bebop around on Twitter a little bit. But thank you for coming. Hope to have you back another time. Drink some water, do some stretches, read the Bible. God bless. Good morning, good night, goodbye.